What's up, guys? Dill here from the Yakuza with my channel mate,
Nate?
and we're going to be discussing My Hero Academia Chapter 240 and beyond. 241 and beyond. So, what did you think about Chapter 240, Nate?
Uh, it was pretty good. I mean, you know that I've recently expressed my no, I wasn't too keen on the arc we were on. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like, oh man, I'm eating it up. So I mean, at the very least, I was happy at the end of it for it to be like a new events are unfolding in this next chapter. So I was like, that's cool, and it seems like Redestroy is just like straight licking Shigaraki's boots. So like
Oh
he
my
he
god,
basically
dude.
just has an army now because they're all just under him. And as Hawk said, it's as strong, if not stronger, than the force of heroes they have. That's kind of scary.
Dude, I was,
That's kind of scary.
and I, just to get my opinion, like just to get where I stand out here, Nate wasn't too fond of the League of Villains arc. I give it a 10, I give it a 10 out of 10. I like the arc a lot. I think it advanced the plot a lot, but like to further what
It
you
did.
said,
I agree with that.
yeah, to further what you said about the villains potentially right now being stronger than the heroes, I think they are because if you really think about the resources we have here, the okay, so Shigaraki has the Doctor. The Doctor has a bunch of high-end Nomu, plus Nomu, they're probably even stronger than high-end Nomu, plus a bunch of regular Nomu. It took,
Whoa. They don't have those right now, though, right? They have none, right? Remember he mentioned
yes,
that? Yeah, but they will. They will.
yeah.
Okay, I was just making
Right,
sure
right. No,
that
you're
I
right.
didn't miss that because that'd
I
be
should have
crazy. They
clarified.
could walk to fucking UA right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It took Endeavor and Hawks to take out one high-end Nomu. So on
So
top of
whenever
that,
they get those, it's over.
you have Machia. You have now the Quirk Liberation Army, Redestro, plus the League of Villains all awaken their quirks to
Yeah.
where they're all stronger. But here's what I was
Yep.
thinking with the Quirk Liberation Army and the Doctor. Okay, what if the Doctor gives what if he starts mass producing the quirk enhancement serum,
Oh no.
giving it to the troops in the Liberation Army, making them
So
super soldiers, like the dude
they
Kirishima
have
fought that
right?
had like the metal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like that.
Yeah.
What do you think
They
about that?
have that though, right? They have both the quirk enhancing. Don't they have the quirk erasing too? Didn't Shigaraki take the few bullets that they had left of both of those from Overhaul? So they have both.
See, I'm not sure about the quirk enhancing. Um, the
No,
quirk
no,
erasing he did take
he did take for sure.
from Overhaul. Yeah. And that's
Dude,
how
the
because that
doctor
and that's how he
and
got rid
I
of Overhaul's
forgot about
quirk.
that.
But
Yeah.
the Doctor could figure out the quirk enhancement stuff if other people could. I mostly know about the quirk enhancement because it's the main plot point in Vigilantes,
Well,
and I
I
think
was
it's
just
going to
gonna
tie
point
back
out,
in.
that, but they have that. Quirk enhancement's one thing.
But to
Quirk
just be able to
erase
erase
another.
Endeavor's quirk,
Yeah,
erase
yeah, that's
one
completely
for all,
different.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
You
is
know what I
nuts.
think's gonna happen with that actually? They might like flirt with the idea of it, but I think eventually, like even if they decide like, oh, the doctor has figured out how to recreate that, they're just gonna be like, oh, well, Erie had a breakthrough. She can return them, like something like that. That's what I think.
Well, I said this in my review that the heroes are going to need a lot of help. They're going to need.
They're in a bad spot right now.
We're possibly going to have a scenario where top 5 heroes from other countries are going to have to come help this epidemic, or it could leak into the rest of the world, cause a chain reaction. But on top of that, we need Midoriya. I would say Midoriya and Todoroki, since they both have extremely broken quirks. We're going
And
to need
Bakugo,
them.
no Bakugo too.
Yes.
Are you gonna say awake? Are you gonna say awaken? Because that's
Well,
where I was going with this. I think
no, that's good.
Midoriya,
I was just going to say.
Midoriya debatably has
I was going to say just
because
take
of, like his
that
second
next
quirk.
step.
Yeah.
So either way,
Bakugo and Todoroki, if they awaken their quirks, that'd be huge.
as
What
well
if
as
we
the other
find
UA
out?
students. But what I was going to
What
say
if we find
was,
out Endeavor hasn't awoken his quirk and he does?
oh my god, I feel like he has though. I feel like he
I,
has.
I do too, but that'd be insane if he hasn't.
Um, but yeah, I think that we need for us to have a chance against this paranormal liberation front that we're going to need
Yeah.
some of the UA students to take a step up, even Sun Eater and stuff, and we need Mirio to get his quirk back. We need
Oh man.
Midoriya,
Well, we
Mirio,
needed that. So we lost.
Todoroki, and Bakugo, and we all need them at the next level.
Hey, whoa, what about my man Ida?
All the UA students. All the UA students. Um, but yeah, the League of Villains has a lot,
What
a lot
about
going for
what
them
is
right
his
now.
name? What is his name?
Sun
Azawa's
Eater?
disciple.
Oh,
No.
Shinzo?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about him?
he could be
It'd
pretty
be
useful
cool.
as well.
It would be cool to see him become like the fifth, because you like listed four people who need to step up. If he becomes like the part of like to make the top five
Oh,
of
trust me,
UA.
you know I would love for that to happen. He's gonna have a role, but I just thought of something, bro. Okay,
What
so
is it?
let
Lay
me
it on.
let me lay out what the League of Villains has right now as a country. Okay, they have all the money in the world. Okay,
Yeah. And influence
influence,
to go with that.
exactly, influence. Okay, they have an army, uh,
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of people ready to die for their philosophy and ideology, which is a lot. That's a lot stronger of an army than just a plain old army, like people that are like being
Well, yeah,
brainwashed.
yeah,
It's like a
yeah, they're
cult.
literally die. Yeah, it is.
Okay, they have Machia, Machia, which is probably
Yeah.
stronger than high end. Okay,
Oh,
I
I'd say he is.
yeah,
Uh,
I would
are
say
we really about to say that?
I don't know. We have no proof.
No,
We don't have any proof.
but are we willing to say that Shigaraki fought something stronger than a Nomu for a month, whereas Endeavor struggled with it? Do we really think Shigaraki's that close to Endeavor?
Yeah, I mean that's it.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
We have
That's a
nothing to
hard no
prove
from
it,
me. Yeah, we have nothing to disprove it,
but
but
just the way that
for
he's
me, that's
built
a
up
no.
by the doctor,
But
even if he's
he's strong.
relative.
Yeah, he's strong,
Okay, so
regardless.
there's that, and then obviously the commanders of the League of Villains or the Paranormal Liberation Front. You have Redestra, who is like actually strong as heck. He would be on a
Yeah,
just from a
and he's just
strength,
a lapdog at
speed.
this point.
Yes, from
Like
a
whatever Shigaraki says, like he's
he'll
gonna
do
do it.
anything, and he's very, 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 very strong. Um, circa Endeavor level. I think Endeavor would beat him, but I'm just saying he's at that like
He's
when you have
near it, yeah.
strength and speed, people with strength and speed quirks, it's crazy. Okay, but we have all of that, everything I just said. You know
Yeah.
what else we have? And of course the doctor and all of anything that he can give us. But you know what else we have? We have Twice. Twice can make a clone of Maggia. He can make an army of Shigarakis. What are the heroes
That's
about
true.
to do, dude? This is crazy. And I was watching other people talk about the chapter, and I think I misunderstood something. I thought Shigaraki had, with all the money, power, influence, and stuff. I thought they had, um, like Redestra, and then I thought the news got rewrote to where, and it did. But what I understood was that they faked their like. He basically said that the League of Villains got killed there. That's what I understood it as. But everyone else was saying that they just said that 20 villains like did that, and it wasn't the League of Villains. It was just like 20 villains, and they all died.
Yeah. It didn't specify what villains
But when
they
I was
were.
reading it, I thought that the Shigaraki had them fake the League of Villains' deaths. But I guess I got that debunked through watching other videos.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely didn't say that it wasn't that. They didn't say it was either. It could be either. It definitely go either way. I've never considered that. I just took it for what it was, I guess, which is what everyone else seems to have done, where it's just 20 villains. They just like covered it up. So that way, I thought they were doing it so it just the world, the heroes wouldn't know that the League of Villains just became like literally an army. Like I thought it was just to hide that, like the information of that, which is why Hawks is there. But of course, Hawks knows that now. He just found that out. But he wants to go deeper, so he yeah.
Let's use that as a segue. Did Hawks kill Best
Here.
Genius? Is Best
Well,
Genius dead?
I'll repeat it for the video's sake, because I already told you my stance on that. In anime and manga, or just anything, just movies as well. If you don't see the death, it didn't happen. Until you literally see that death, it
It's
didn't
true.
happen. So to me,
In most cases, it's
Best
true.
Venus is alive. Yeah, I mean there are definitely cases it's not true. You don't see the death, and that person is very dead. But 99% of the time, that's how it is. So I'm gonna say he's alive. I think through someone's quirk, or just through technology, because it's pretty technologically advanced. In some way, shape, or form, they have made a fake body, and that is fake Best Genius. Or even if he did die, I think he did it willingly. I don't think Hawks was just like straight up like, no, you're going to die whether you want to or not. It was either his choice or he's not dead. So I don't think he's dead. That's my stance on it. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you, but one thing that
There's always a but.
I'll say one thing that really is I would say is the biggest driving point behind what you're saying is what Dobby said. He was like,
What's that?
and Dobby, I don't know if you can agree with this, but ever since this started, I have seen Dobby just, in my opinion, he is seen right through Hawks. It's the way he talks to him and stuff is kind of like how he's constantly making him prove himself. Like, yeah, go kill Best Genius if you're really on our side. And he just always he has his arm around his shoulder and he's just like looking at him and like it just seems like Dobby sees through Hawks. That's just the vibe I get. But he basically says, I don't know if that's like if you killed Best Genius, if that's who that is, but whether or not it's Best Genius or not, you killed somebody.
Yeah.
He said that. So, I mean,
Yeah. Sure.
that to me was the red flag that he might not have killed Best Genius. Because it's kind of like the author saying, like, did he kill Best Genius, though?
Or at the very least, Dobby.
I just want to know what could have happened. Because I can't, usually if this would have happened, we could have thought of somebody in the story that's like, oh, this person has a quirk that lets them make, clay sculptures. Or like organic or like you know what I'm saying? There's somebody where we could be like, yeah, this person made a fake Best Genius body, or this person can make somebody look like somebody else.
The world's huge in My Hero, and the hero organizations are huge. Hawks is number 2. He's definitely capable of having the influence of finding someone who could do that if they exist. So,
but what? So would he have went to? So the flashback to
Best Genius
that we got. Would he? But he took one of his feather swords out, but then they off screened it. But like,
obviously on purpose.
But why would he take his feather sword out? And plus, because I'm like very on the line about it. Like, I like Best Genius a lot actually. Even like a lot of people don't know him like enough to like him a lot. I've only seen a little bit of him obviously, but like, I like him a lot. Like him. I think that it would be a very cool. Like, I like how dark My Hero has gotten.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be a good plot twist for Hawks to kill Best Genius.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like it.
Just darkness-wise. Right. Yeah. So, but that's where I'm at on the line. Is that I'm having my doubts about it.
For sure. I mean, see, let's get back to Dobby real quick, because I wanted to weigh in on that. For me, I don't think that Dobby, what I think's happening is Dobby thinks he's seeing right through Hawks. I think Hawks might be smarter than Dobby. I think that Hawks is playing Dobby.
Hawks has a lot of potential. Hawks is like, he's like Mirio's age. He's like a year older, 2 years older.
Yeah, Hawks is too ambiguous right now. Yeah, it is, especially for him to be number 2. Imagine if he had the same amount of time as like Endeavor or All Might. He'd probably make it to a number 1 possibly. But neither here nor there. Point is, Hawks is very ambiguous. Hawks kind of does what he wants or whatever. Like he's almost like a vigilante borderline. Like he just, but he is a hero, and we know that in the end. At least that's what he's played out to be. Yeah. So he's ambiguous enough right now that if you're gonna be that kind of person, if you're gonna have the personality of like, I'm ambiguous, I do what I want, you gotta be smart about it because you're a hero. You're the number 2 hero. There are plenty of people who have their eyes on you probably all the time because you're number 2 hero. They're watching you. So if you're gonna do shady things like that or do what you want, you gotta be smart about it. Whereas Dobby could very easily just have told like Shigaraki, and he has. He's like, I'm working on new recruits right now. Obviously not flat out saying like, hey, it's the number 2 hero. But he's still like he's told him. Hawks probably hasn't told like anyone. He's probably just fucking doing this. We don't know that for sure. But I think Hawks is literally just doing this on his own. He's decided to investigate into the League of Villains. So I think Hawks is playing Dobby, and Dobby thinks he has the upper hand, which because Dobby's doing the whole prove yourself time and time again. And Hawks, I think him being the intelligent person he is, he's like, okay, I can do this. I can cover it up this way or that way. That's just my sense on
it. And those are really good points. I still personally think that Dobby doesn't fully trust Hawks. But
Well, I
I
don't
don't
think I don't
I
think he does that.
but it shows a lot about it shows a lot about like how confident Hawks is and stuff, that he's basically asking Dobby to introduce him to everybody. Like
Yeah,
Hawks
that
is
was
Hawks. I
crazy.
was like, because imagine if you were if like I'm imagine if I was in Hawks' position and like just imagine being like guilty, like lying undercover and like looking Shigaraki in his goddamn eyes. You know what I'm saying? And
Fucking
trying to be like,
baggy
oh, what's
ass
up?
eyes with the fucking hand on his face.
But I actually kind of think that Dobby like I think that Dobby is kind of like you were saying Hawks is in a sense of
That he's intelligent.
well
He's only
he's
what
a
he. Do you
he's
think he's just? Do you
he has
think
his
he's
own
using
motives
the league? Yeah. Do you think he's using the league? Well,
to
former League of Villains.
to some extent. I think that he definitely has his own ulterior motives,
I would agree. Some
dude.
people they flat out said like Spinner, he is just a loyalist. Toga, we found out what she wanted, obviously, in
Well
the
Dobby was because of
arc.
Stain,
Yeah, but
so
see,
already right away Dobby and Toga and some of the other members were more
but the
about
pro,
Stain than they
but
were
here's the problem with that.
Shigaraki.
Dobby was because of Stain. Toga was because of Stain. Let's use those two as examples.
Right.
Toga is because of Stain, but in the time she's been in the league, she's already changed and said, "I basically want to transform into the people that I love. Like that. That's my desire in life. Like she likes Stain still, obviously, but that's her desire. Whereas Dobby has only said that he likes Stain, and more importantly, while he said that, he's watched like slowly over time. Stain's influence, it's there, but it's dwindling. It's definitely not as strong as it was. People aren't, they don't care about it as much now. And I feel like he does still. He's loyal to Stain more than the league. So I think eventually he might double cross them actually because of that. I think he's gonna get fed up eventually and be like, all you people are supposed to be here because of Stain. We're all here because of Stain to begin with, or whatever. And you're just like running his name through the mud. Fuck you guys, and he's just gonna go off on his own.
Yeah, I see. I'm not. That's a good theory. I'm not sure who Dobby would double cross the league for. I'm not sure what his
I
true
think he would.
intentions
I
are.
think he would just leave the league.
Right, because like,
I could see him leaving the league and
what if he
saying,
wants to take down Endeavor because that's his dad? Like, because everyone thinks that's his dad.
I think Dobby could leave the what is it called now? The
Paranormal
Paranormal Liberation
Liberation
Front.
Front. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him leaving that and trying to free Stain from wherever he's
Is Stain still
kept.
alive? I can't remember.
I think he is right. He was
He
just
should be.
captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could
That's
see
actually a
him
good
just doing
idea.
that. Yeah, and then maybe he gets captured. Maybe he gets him out, and then Stain comes back around, and then it's like another overhaul, paranormal liberation front deal where it's like that front against the Stain followers. Because you would definitely have people fragmenting from the liberation front
Stain came
if
back.
Stain came back. Yeah, they'd immediately be like, "Well, we were here for Stain, and he's literally
Like
here."
Toga.
Yeah.
She like
So,
relapse.
and you know that if that happens, Twice is gonna go because Twice is like basically in love with Toga.
What if they use it
And
as a?
then, and then
What
they
if
can
they
make
use
an
it?
army
What if they
with
use it as a
Twice.
plot? What if they use it as a plot point to make because Shigaraki has grown to the point that like Shigaraki has grown to the point that he's a figure like a Stain or an All for One or an
Yeah.
Overhaul. What if they use it as a plot point to make Stain kneel to Shigaraki? That would be so shitty.
That'd be really unhappy.
Okay,
I'd be so fucking mad.
too much. We went on. We
We
went on a
really
tangent about
we went off
Dobby
the
and
rails.
Hawks. Uh, Something I wanted to bring up to you, and this is my own thoughts.
Wait,
Is
I have a question for
okay.
you first. Are we moving from Dobby or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we do that, do you think Hawks actually killed someone? Whether it was Best Genius or not, do you think he's actually killed someone?
I
Really?
think that if it wasn't Best Genius,
Oh man.
they killed somebody. Well, what if he used somebody that was already dead? What if he used somebody that was in a recent
Death, like a recent crime.
and they somehow made him either look like Best Genius or because the red flag there will eventually be a red flag when they figure out it's not Best Genius. They have to have a way to confirm that. Especially with okay, and I'm just going to run this theory. This isn't my theory or anything. I told you this
Go.
earlier, but basically the doctor at the end told Shigaraki that he needed him to bring him something, and a
Yeah.
lot of people are thinking that uh, it's Best Genius and that they're going to use Best Genius to make some kind of Nomu or something using Best Genius's quirk. So like, if that would happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen. There would be a red flag if it was somebody that wasn't Best Genius. But Hawks is still a redeemable person if there was a person that recently died and there was somebody with a quirk that could maybe change how people looked or something, and he did that, or like some kind of an illusion
Yeah.
quirk. I don't know, but I,
Here's the thing, though.
I think he did kill somebody because the story's been getting dark. To answer your question,
I think he maybe used a dead body. I don't think he killed someone though. Like I don't think he has personally done
because
it.
that would change him as a character a lot, like
Yeah, it would.
drastically. Because even
That
if he
make him like
saved,
the Rob Lucci of My Hero. Because Rob Lucci,
Go
remember
on.
whenever like he would just kill people. You know, remember that whenever he was like younger,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were all gonna be like they were gonna like join up with the pirates. So he just like killed like 50 fucking innocent people or whatever because they were just gonna like whatever they're gonna defect. Anyways, here's the thing: even though Dobby is basically like, whoa, hold up there, Hawks. We can't just let you meet everyone yet. Even though that happened, and Hawks decided in his head, I'm going to see this through. I have to meet everyone. I have to know like what exactly or what's going down here. I have to know the full extent of it. Hawks was still very calm about that. Like not even in a thought bubble was he like, oh shit, this isn't a real Best Genius or whatever. What am I going to do? So he has to have a plan, right?
I think so.
But we don't know how he doesn't know how Nomus are made. So he might not realize how bad his plan might be.
What if Best Genius is just alive in that bag, just about to pop off? he uses everybody's clothes.
Oh my god.
Do you
Oh,
think
man,
it would be
that'd be-
smart for the and dude? This is the last thing I'm going to say because we do have to get on to the next part of this chapter. But the
Yeah.
Hawk, I find the Hawk stuff some of the most interesting plot points.
I do too. No,
I find
it's
it one of the most interesting
because
plot
he's
points
a
of the
double
series.
agent.
But like, what would you do? Okay, if you were in Hawks's the hero's position, would now be the time to strike? I know they're all in the same place and everything, but do you wait until they're all scattered? Do you wait until like would you strike now,
Yes.
or would you wait to
No.
gather more information?
I would wait.
Because
There are so many reasons why they should wait.
okay.
I mean, well, firstly, like a big reason
numbers.
is, as you said, information. Well, that too. But firstly, information. As you said, if you wait longer, you're just going to get more information. They already have, as you just mentioned as well, they already have the numbers that it already doesn't matter. They already have so many people that if they get more, it just doesn't matter. Like they're already outnumbered, so it's it's negligible. So it'd be more beneficial for them to wait so they can get more information. And on top of that, we talked earlier about what all the villains have right now. The Paranormal Liberation Front. What do the heroes have? He knows. He's number 2. He's not out of the loop. He knows what they have.
Well, they don't have anything because they're straight. They only have themselves.
Exactly. So he's not dumb. He's not going to attack now. That'd just be foolishness. That would guarantee the death of everyone.
I agree with you, but if All Might was still there, if this was still the first part of the series,
That'd be different.
I would say
Yeah,
act
that'd be
now.
completely different. That'd be
Yeah.
completely different. But he's
But
not.
without him, yeah.
Yeah, with the current situation.
Plus
it's
a
suicide.
weak Endeavor. Endeavor just can't. Is probably still
Yeah.
recovering.
Yeah, and if Best Genius happens to be alive,
Is
he's
Endeavor
supposed
in
to
on this?
recover.
'Cause
No,
he said he said something about reporting it to Endeavor. Does that mean he already told him, or that he's going to tell him?
no. I think he's using Endeavor. I think he's using it. Like he's probably going to report something out. Like so he's.
Well, no,
he's
that was a
finding
thought
information-
bubble.
He's finding finding out information about the leak. So how I understood it was he was going to tell Endeavor information about the leak, but he wasn't going to tell him how he got it. Like that's what I thought was going to happen.
You might be right, but how I understood it was that since some time has passed, that Endeavor's in on it, and he's like
I mean,
reporting to
he
Endeavor,
could be.
which would, and then Best Genius would also be in on it. But I'm
Yeah.
not sure. You could be right. Moving on.
Yeah, we gotta get moving.
I know we've talked a few times before about how there might be something else happens before we get straight like villains versus
Shigaraki
the
versus
heroes.
yeah.
Yeah, Shigaraki versus Midoriya, heroes versus villains. But
I still think
I
that.
was I was I mean, I was thinking though. We basically the arc before this was it was like setting up. Basically, we had a setup arc for the heroes and then a setup arc for the villains. Like we had a setup arc for the students, and then a setup arc for Shigaraki and the League of Villains. Like we got Deku and Shigaraki like awakening their quirks, and it both happening one after another. I think we might be getting into this war. I don't. I think it would be too
Uh,
fast. I think it would be too fast. Because I'm very, I'm very, very, I'm in extreme fear of the series ending. But if they did that right now, that would be a good place for the time skip. You'd be
See,
about
that's
300
what I was gonna
chapters
say.
in.
If
It'd be a perfect place for the time skip.
the
If
only
they
way
did
this
heroes
works
versus
out,
villains, and then there was a conclusion, and then everyone realizes they're not strong enough, and then there's a time skip between
but
maybe where they graduate.
you also have to keep in mind that for that conclusion to happen, we've talked about how the villains have so much more than the heroes right now. The heroes are they gotta pull something out then. If this war happens within like the next 100 chapters and the series ends or whatever, we get the time skip, we get the Shippuden version of My Hero. That's all fine. There has to be major hero developments because basically at the end of the day, what's gonna have to happen is what happens for anything that anytime there's really a time skip for most series. There's got to be a stalemate. Look at Naruto. What happened with that? There was a stalemate, basically. Like Sasuke left the village, they couldn't stop him. Naruto and Sasuke were basically of equal power at the end of Naruto. So then we get a time skip because they're at a stalemate and they're training during that. If the heroes don't stalemate with the villains, one will just win. And I mean, and not only would one win, it'd have to be the heroes if there was still going to be a time skip. Because then they could be like, oh, time skip 2 or 3 years, some new super villain power has emerged in that time. But something's got to happen. There's got to be more build up for the heroes. We cannot just jump right into this war, in my opinion, because they're just not strong enough. They'd literally just get annihilated. That'd be the end of the series. There would be no time skip. That'd just be the end of the world.
See, you're
So
right, but it is it is a shonen manga, and
that's
we
true.
we didn't think that Luffy could just walk into Whole Cake and leave. We didn't think he could just that they could be in Wano this long without getting caught and stuff like that. Usually, a lot of times they will build up stuff like to the, and I agree with everything you said. Like logically, there's nothing they can do, but this
Can we
stuff.
compare
Wait,
My Hero to One Piece?
but this happens in a lot of series though, where they're like extremely over their head and stuff. And basically, what would happen would be that just the heroes would have to, they would basically have to be precise about who they defeat. They would have to basically
Yeah,
go and
that's
defeat
fine.
Shigaraki and the commanders and stuff, as opposed to just fighting this like full out war. Like they would have to be like, okay, these are the leaders and stuff. So like, yeah, logically, there's nothing the heroes can do, but there also might be developments that we don't know about.
That's what I'm talking about. If we get some hero development and
But what would be the
for 50
developments
chapters,
besides just the one egg people getting stronger? I think that what I said earlier, and I never thought about this before I just said it, but like before I said it in this video, but
I think
if
All
they
Might has to fight again.
if I think if they brought in heroes from other countries to help, that would be crazy. Just like a couple from each
Well,
country.
that too. Something.
The number ones.
Basically someone has to fight. Like if we're gonna compare the
I
number one
think
hero, which is Endeavor, to someone even like Shigaraki, like Shigaraki's, even if he's not ballpark, Shigaraki has so many other people in that army right now as well, like Redestro, Twice, Giganto, Machia, all of those people. Like Endeavor can't defeat all of them, so something has to happen because we would agree probably that Endeavor is like he's just the strongest hero right now. That's how it is. All Might is not. All Might's out of the game. Endeavor's technically number one right now. So
I just thought of something, bro.
What? What do you got?
They could still free all for one.
That's been actually
Like just to add stuff to it, just to add, just to add more to how ridiculously strong they are now. Realistically, they have the resources to just go get all for one.
Well,
Like,
that's in the back of my head. That's been in the back of my head this time because we've talked many times before about how All for One is very chipper. He's actually very happy sitting there eating food through a fucking tube or whatever, just in a goddamn straitjacket for all eternity. He's pretty happy right now with that. Why? And people, it was also stated before he even fought All for One or One for All, All Might. It's stated that All for One is a very calculated character. He never does things stupidly. He always considers every outcome, weighs his possibilities, and then does the best thing he can do. So I was gonna bring that up at some point. I guess I'll do it now. One of two things is gonna happen. For the longest time, until we got the doctor stuff, I thought only one thing could happen, but now there's two. One of those things is what I've always thought, which is I've always thought somehow All for One's getting out because he's a calculated man. He basically he kind of like let himself get captured. He took out All Might in the process, but he got captured. But he was okay with being captured. So in my head, I was like, somehow he's getting out. He knows he's going to. He has like some master plan that he's been playing out. That's one possibility. The other possibility as to why All for One is so happy is because he knows that he left the doctor to them, and the doctor knows everything, and he truly
for
just
sure.
wants Shigaraki to become the heir, and he knows that he can. And obviously, we know that now too with the past arc. So one of those two things is happening. Either All for One's going to stay locked up, and the doctor's going to be like the new All for One, so to say. Like he's going to be the man behind Shigaraki, who's like pulling all these strings and giving him like a lot of power, or All for One is going to get broken out. I think one of those two things for sure, because that's why All for One would be happy. One of those two things has to happen. Either Shigaraki becomes what All for One is, or All for One gets broken out. And I'd actually lean more towards the second now, or sorry, the first. Shigaraki just taking over, because he's really
That's what I'm
stepped shit
thinking
up,
too.
and
Well,
he's awakened. He has the army and all that.
well, you can agree that with me on this that he eventually might get All for One, right? Like I think that he will get All for One.
Well, yeah.
Okay, well,
Even by the
here's the
time that
thing.
happens, I think All for One's gonna be like, dude, you've done it. Like, look at what you've done. You don't even need me. I'm just gonna be here by your side, almost like a father figure. I'm gonna just watch you do what you want with your life. Just wreak havoc.
Okay, well, here's my thing, and this is to kind of keep us on track with the chapter that we're talking about. This actually, what you're talking about, ties into the chapter and what I was about to bring up with Shigaraki. The doctor says he's going to give Shigaraki some kind of power, and I think that Shigaraki eventually is going to get All for One. But I think that if the doctor, I don't think the doctor's talking about All for One. I think he might be talking about something scientific. He might be talking about a Beshinus Nomu. But I think that if Shigaraki got All for One now, it wouldn't feel right. Like I think if he got it too soon, it wouldn't
I
feel
think
right.
he's too young. Yeah.
Well, I think
Too
because of
inexperienced.
I think because of him just awakening his quirk, it would kind of belittle that. I kind of want to see him wreak
Yeah.
havoc with that new
Yeah.
awakened
He's
quirk.
got to ride that out for a bit. He's got to hone that for
Yeah,
sure.
and then eventually get All for One. It surprised me when he had the hand on his face because he abandoned the hands. It's definitely not his father's hand. I'm thinking it might be his younger sister's hand
Now,
because he
Dill.
had definitely abandoned the hands and he destroyed like all of them. I don't even know
Dill,
whose hand that could
I
be.
have a theory that just came into my head, but no, not for this video. Not for this video.
We'll talk.
I'm gonna
Okay,
type
when we
it
cut the
outside.
mic, we'll talk about it.
It's pretty good.
Are you typing it?
Yeah,
Are you
you
sending
can
it to
keep
me?
talking. No,
Oh, okay. I honestly think we should probably. I'm not sure how long we've been in this call. We should probably wrap it up. I'm trying to think of anything else in the chapter that
any
happened.
other big points? I
Okay,
mean,
let's wrap it up with this final talking point because we're gonna have plenty more My Hero
of these
Academia
talks. Yeah,
discussions.
of
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what this will be the we'll both put in our last piece on this. What do you
Okay.
think the next arc's gonna be? And that's not something I've prompted you with. So this will just be
Yeah,
like
it's
a
hard.
guess. Yeah.
Well, I think it's only going one of two ways for sure, and it's hero related on both ends. One will involve villains more so, but I think we're either just gonna cut straight back to UA. We're gonna see Midoriya hopefully bring out Black Whip more, just like them getting stronger. That is a cop out. That's a lot less likely. I think. I don't think that's where it's going. I think we might get another. Endeavor or maybe just like specifically Hawk's arc, and we're actually going to see like what becomes of him in the League of Villains, which is where I would like it to go as well, because that's very interesting. That's where I think it'll go.
Um,
Where do you think it goes?
I would say that there we might get an arc right now that is an introduction arc to what would be the heroes versus the villains. We might see Shigaraki start making subtle moves in this next arc, and we might see Midoriya and people fight somebody from the Paranormal Liberation Front that is higher tier, but not like they might just have to start. You might just see. I think in this next arc, maybe you'll just see the Liberation Front start just their foot soldiers just wreaking havoc,
Well, they're
uh,
going to start. Yeah, they're in
and then
for
you'll see
whatever.
what we saw at the beginning of the League of Villains arc, where Bakugo and Todoroki just started. Remember when people were like acting out, and All Might was like, "You just got your license. What are you doing?" And Bakugo's like, "Well, how long do you have to wait until you're a hero?" And so I think that there's just going to be random foot soldiers attacking everywhere, and it's going to be chaos. And we might see them use that as practice, and then that
That'd be
introduction will
cool.
go into uh, like Camino times 100, and that will actually, when stuff actually starts hitting the fan, is when they're really going to get stronger. They're going to train a lot, and they'll get stronger. But just like when Shigaraki fought in this arc, that's when he got stronger. When he is actually in just like in any other shonen like One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, when you're actually about to die,
Yeah,
that's
he was backed
when,
into a corner. Yeah, he
yes.
blossomed.
So that's how our guys are going to get stronger. So it's going to be something to give maybe some other people in Class 1A awakened quirks, and that's what I think.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, honestly.
So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Hit Comment down below anything you thought about this video. If you think we're right or wrong, just give us some feedback, and hit the notification bell if you would like to join the Yakuza. See you guys.